Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Pitstop Zone podcast, the show where K-Chads and I chat about all things Mario and Sonic. Say hello, K-Chads.
Hello, everybody. It's me, KJazz575. Thank you so much, Ryder, for inviting me on for this podcast.
Yeah,
Feels good to be here.
no problem. We kind of have these conversations like every time we talk in like call anyway, so like we should just really start
It
recording them, and that's why we're creating this. So,
that's kind of how it came up. Anyway, like we've been planning this for
what,
I
like
want to say like a year and
months?
a year and a half now. I want to say.
Yeah, it was like it was what was it like last spring? We started talking about it last spring.
We It was last year we started. We were kind of discussing like, is this something we want to do? Like, if we have the time, and it's like, I mean, I could do it. Um, Obviously, me being a very shy person IRL, it's very difficult to really express yourself on the internet. But I think this really gives me a chance to really kind of talk about the things that I am personally interested in. And I think talking with you, Ryder, is someone who I've gotten to know very well over the last year. Um, I think it makes absolute perfect sense that we get together and talk about things.
Yeah, because we both love Mario and Sonic. Like, it's
Absolutely.
we're like delved into the franchises. Like, we'll go in depth into stuff like real
Yeah,
fans
like I'll
would.
talk, I'll talk, I'll talk about I'll talk about the lore of Professor Gerald if anyone wants me to, because I am very much a Sonic lore master. Except for the comics, I'm not too big. I'm not too big on the comics because I've never had the time to really sit down and read them. But yeah,
Yeah, it. I have to still get into the comics at some point. I have like the entire Metal Virus arc for Sonic, but I just have not sat down and just like read and gone through everything yet. But yeah,
I mean,
um,
I've heard the Metal Virus stuff is really good.
Yeah, that's the one I hear most people talking about. I don't know if like I don't know what's happened after that point, but anyway, that's not really what the topic is for today, but yeah, this is basically what you'll expect from the show itself. We're going to be kind of just, chatting anything about Mario and Sonic. So today's topic will be about the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal and our first impressions on it. So to start things off, let's go and talk about just our general thoughts on the entire reveal. I guess I'll let you go first.
Yeah, sure. I'll happily go first. Um, I am I'm very satisfied with this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nintendo's playing it very smart. We're not having a repeat of the Wii U. Nintendo very clearly advertised this as this is a new console. This is very much the successor to the Nintendo Switch. Yes, it's when you look at it in face value, it's basically just a more powerful Switch, but at the same time, I think there's enough differences to consider this to be a true worthy successor console.
Yes, I totally agree. Like, I wasn't expecting very much differences compared to the original Switch. And, considering all the leaks that's been happening, I was
Oh
kind of
man.
expecting, like, the leaks were just insane for, like, the past 2 weeks. Like, everything was just being shown off. And, nothing
we
really
we almost
surprised
we
me
al-
very much, anyways.
It got to a point where we expected like a leak every day.
And that's
Where
kind
we
of what
wake up,
happened for, like, the past week or so. It just started happening every single day.
yeah, we got like the we got the Joy Cons, we got the back of the system, we even got the motherboard of the thing.
Yeah, this has to have been the most crazy console leak like of all time. And it wasn't just
This
something
is
that was like fake or prototype really. Like everything was spot on.
Yeah, this has definitely been like one of Nintendo's worst kept secrets ever, because I think last summer, or I think even summer of 23, we started hearing stuff about Switch 2.
Yeah, it was like very minor stuff. But yeah, it was still stuff about the console and it still ended up kind of being shown off now. The whole thing that I was mainly excited to see about with the Switch 2's reveal was seeing if they would actually reveal some of the features that would have been on it, but unfortunately we didn't really get any of that information, and they announced that there'll be a Nintendo Direct coming in April, so I guess we'll probably be seeing that sort of information then. But yeah, we'll talk about more of like our biggest worries and most wanted features in a few minutes. But for me,
Hmm.
my overall first impressions were pretty good. I wasn't really shocked on all the stuff, like I said, because of leaks. But
Yeah.
everything that we saw was really good. I like how it's just like a basically an upgraded version of the Switch. They didn't go like super gimmicky or anything, although, the new Joy-Cons do have me a little bit concerned. But overall, the
Yeah.
Switch 2 is looking really nice so far.
Yeah. I really like the color choice that they went for it
Oh yeah, like the
because
the little blue and red like on the inside and then just black shelling on the outside.
yeah. Although I will say though, like I like the color idea. I do think though it kind of loses that little bit of charm that the original Switch had with the different colored Joy-Cons. Now, granted, that could still be a thing with the Switch too, but so far it looks like they're going for a different kind of color sync thing,
This
which
is
is really interesting.
it's more like the Switch 2 is just the bigger brother of the Switch. Like it's just more mature. It feels like
I
that.
The Switch 2 is for mature gamers.
Rated M. But yeah, I like I said, it's so far it's looking pretty good. But I think we should just go right ahead to the most wanted features that we want to see on this thing, because there's a lot of stuff that I really want to see on this console that every other modern console nowadays basically has. But hear your thoughts first.
Okay, so first off, an actual good UI, please. I
That
don't
that
think I don't think I'm the first to say that the Switch One's UI is so boring. It's really lame.
It's the weakest UI for like any console that I could think of, honestly.
Yeah, it's like it's even the GameCube, but the GameCube had more character than the Switch. Like, come on.
I want to hear like a new home menu theme again, like not in terms of like UI. Obviously, I want to see themes, but we need to
Oh
hear like the
yeah.
background music, like a nice calming background music, something like PS5 does, or something like the Wii did. Um, like I
Yeah,
kind of like that about the Wii, was it had like this little nice tone in the background. The Wii U even did that as well.
yeah, I really like that about the Wii U. The Wii U OS felt very personalized and dynamic. And I think that's something the Switch definitely lost during its life in terms of the OS.
Seeing like all these concepts online as well, showing off like what the UI could have been like and what it can be like for the
Oh
Switch 2.
man,
It's
I
honestly
I
like it's one of the
I sh-
definitive updates we need for the Switch.
I shed a tear every time I watch those concept videos because I'm like, this is what it should have been from minute one, but
It
we
still
didn't get that.
surprises me how the original Switch never got any more themes. Like we just have black and white. Like how did it at least not get other colors? Like at the very least.
It's I guess at one point they were gonna do colors, but it was just like, forget it. I don't think anyone really cares.
I think they should do something similar to what like the Steam Deck UI does, where you're on a, or I think the PlayStation
Yes.
5 does this too, where you're like when you're on a selected game icon, it should just have like a picture of the art in the background. At least have that as one of the options, because that would probably be my personal choice, honestly. Have
Yeah.
like have like
One of my favorite thing. Oh,
you go
sorry. You
ahead.
go. You go
You
ahead.
you go ahead.
Oh, okay. One of my favorite things, like about the Wii, was when you would click on a channel and it would play like a small little piece of music from that game. So, like, say you click on Mario Galaxy, you hear like a musical piece from Galaxy. And I think for the Switch too, what they can do is let's take the new Mario Kart for example, is like have a snippet of the main theme.
Yeah, that was something I always really liked about with the Wii, but a lot of people don't really talk about the fact that the 3DS also did that as well.
Oh yeah, it did. The 3DS did do that.
But yeah, that I feel like that should be something that's definitely something we should see again for the Switch too. Just
Yeah,
have like a little jingle
more
that plays or
more
something.
characters,
Yeah.
more of a personality with the system. That's the
And
big thing I want.
I think the Me channel or whatever they're gonna call that for the next console, they should definitely have that more user friendly and not just put that in the settings. Like I always felt like that was stupid and very inconvenient.
Yeah, that was very very dumb of Nintendo to do that. It was very limiting, and it just kind of made it feel like use the Nintendo Switch app. Good news for you, Nintendo. Nobody uses the Switch app.
Literally no one uses it at all. The only time I ever use it is when I'm gonna share like my Nintendo Switch friend code with someone. Just because I'm not like on the Switch having to manually put in what my friend code is. I could just copy and paste it and give it to someone.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I used it for like exclusive stuff in Splatoon and maybe a bit for Smash. But apart from that, I don't use it for voice chat because why would I do that when Discord is just superior in every single way possible?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what most people use anyways nowadays. Well, speaking of voice chat actually, why don't we have that like on the Switch too as well? Give us like an option to voice chat or message other friends on the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the leaks are kind of hinting towards with this mysterious button on the right Joy-Con. Apparently, it's a button that has the C on it. It wasn't in the trailer. I don't know if that was intentional or whether or not the C button doesn't actually exist and it's just another simple square. But apparently, it's going to be used for some sort of voice chat um, sharing thing or something like that. Because remember, Twitter isn't you can't share stuff on Twitter anymore. So this would be kind of Nintendo's answer to kind of replace that.
Yeah, I honestly that would actually be a really good idea because the way of how the Switch works now with like sharing videos and pictures is a pain in the butt because like you have to use your
Oh,
phone, use a QR code, blah blah blah. It's not as simple as just uploading the Twitter or Facebook or anything like that anymore because they remove those features because
mm-hmm.
money.
Thanks, Elon. Thank you, Elon.
Thank you, oh
You do such a
precious
great
Elon.
you do such a great job at managing such a wonderful site that definitely doesn't have bots and other problems.
Anyway, so yeah, with your most wanted feature is basically the UI. With me, I have talked
A better
about
UI. Yeah.
this. Yeah, better UI. With me, I really, 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 really. I've talked about this like on Discord, and I've talked about this partially on my YouTube channel. We need to see achievements like put into
Yes.
the Nintendo programming. I saw this like concept on Twitter the other day where you get the same kind of achievements like Xbox or Steam or PlayStation players do, and they give you like a little star icon next to it saying you completed that achievement. And depending on what the rarity of that achievement is, you can get like a silver star, bronze star, or gold star. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you 100% all the achievements, you can get a little grand star next to the game. Which honestly, achievements give me more of that engagement to actually go and 100% a specific game because it feels like I'm actually
Yes.
doing something that I feel like I'm actually accomplishing. It's not that I don't feel accomplished when I 100% a video game, but showing it off to like other players from like around the world, showing how many achievements you can get or perfect achievements you can get. What are those like platinum? Like PlayStation does, like they could do
Yeah,
something like
the
that.
platinum trophies.
They could do something like that, and honestly, I would be so engaged and like thrilled to actually just do something that other consoles do that I've always wanted on the Switch. Well, just in
Yeah,
general, any
absolutely.
Nintendo console.
I think it would be really cool to just kind of show off that yes, I have collected this amount of balloons in Odyssey, 999, and I just have this big giant grand star just hovering above me, to indicate that I finished this game 100%, and I can show it off to my friends or something like that.
Yes, it's right there too because some of Nintendo's modern games, like once they've been, re, excuse me, been releasing lately, have had achievements programmed into the game, but not like it's not like it's shown off like on your Nintendo profile or anything. It's programmed inside of the game to give you
Just the
achievements,
game only.
which I don't like that honestly. It's not something I
No.
prefer at all. I would rather just have achievements as its own separate like program built inside of the Switch too. And just I can imagine it right now and it would instantly be like one of my favorite consoles because having something like that on the go, just getting achievements and playing my favorite games because most of my favorite games are Nintendo related ones would be so much
Yeah.
fun and very addicting.
And what they could do as well is that they could uh actually make use of My Nintendo. Do you remember My Nintendo? No, nobody does. Anyway, what they could do with it is they could give you like platinum points or gold points to like spend on what's available in My Nintendo, get some exclusive items. You know, just something. Just something.
Maybe something to kind of add on to that. Maybe we can like purchase icons that way by doing achievements. Maybe you can like
Yeah.
instead of
You
using
can
the
get some
Nintendo
like
Platinum points, you could possibly like let's say if like Mario Kart 10 or whatever had like 40 achievements. Now, if you get all 40 of those achievements, you can unlock all the icon accessories for that specific game. You'll just have to purchase them from the shop, like the achievement point shop or whatever. Honestly, I think that would be more
yeah.
better than just using your Nintendo Platinum points because Platinum points can be used for other stuff like actual physical accessories that Nintendo offers on their site. So they should really just switch that a little bit as well. Guess what? Anyway.
We're here all night, ladies and gentlemen. It's fine.
But yeah, that's how I would vision it. That's definitely my most wanted feature is achievements. Of course there's many other ones, but we could go on forever really because Nintendo is still like a decade behind.
And they will be a decade behind. That's just how Nintendo is. I've been used to it for like 20 years, so and it's clearly not changing.
And honestly, graphics do not bother me. They've never really bothered me like at all. Except for when Nintendo is lazy and you get stuff like the HD remasters like Skyward Sword or Luigi's Mansion
Oh
2
my
or
god.
Country Returns even.
Ugh. I hate those ports with a passion.
But Nintendo doesn't need to focus on making good looking games. They already have like pretty decent quality games, especially when you have stuff like Odyssey or Mario Kart Deluxe that look astounding and the Switch is not that powerful compared to anything else nowadays. So,
Yeah, we're not asking for like 4K 120 FPS
my thing though
cheese
is
sync.
like having have the console have the ability that other consoles would have, so third parties like Sega or like the bigger companies can actually program their games correctly into the Switch too,
Yes.
just
Oh
so
my
like
god.
having that ability would make it so much easier for other like video game developers out there to just be able to put the games on Nintendo's console.
Yeah, and it's funny as well because there are some great third-party ports on Switch that developers actually know how to take advantage of the console's capabilities. But then you get the third-party ports where they just didn't even seem to try. Um, like Mortal Kombat 1 on Switch, that looks god awful. Never forget Johnny Cage, MK1 launch face model. That was ugh. That was horrendous.
And then you had
Um,
stuff like the Sonic Colors Ultimate situation, where
oh
specifically
my
the Switch
god,
version
Colors
had that
Ultimate.
seizure inducing glitch.
How did they think it was okay to ship it in that condition?
So you had stuff like that, and then you think of another Sonic game like Sonic Frontiers. That game barely functions on the Switch. I don't even know how they did it still with a almost stable 30 FPS. It goes down a little bit sometimes, especially in the DLC, but
Yeah, do not play that game docked. Do not play that game docked. I'm just warning you now.
handheld mode honestly is not that bad. But that's another point I wanted to make is I really hope that when they say like games that aren't compatible with the original Switch might not be compatible with the new Switch 2. I'm pretty sure they're talking about some of their specific games, because I'm sure the other Switch games would just work just fine from like third parties. Because I think stuff like
Yeah,
Ring Fit won't work because of the Ring Fit accessories and whatnot. But the other,
yeah, because the Joy Cons are bigger, so they wouldn't exactly fit. Um, where the Ring Fit. I've never played Ring Fit, so I don't know how it really works. But like it wouldn't fit where the Joy-Con would go.
yeah, that actually is true. Although I do wonder if we're gonna have compatibility with the original Switch Joy-Con, similar to like having the Wii remotes on the Wii U. But at least that was kind of more of a normal thing. I feel like having the original Switch Joy-Cons to the Switch 2 would be different, because I don't think there isn't really a specific way of connecting them other than just connecting it on the Switch's side, right? Or is there?
I I didn't see like any way you could like
Well, no,
put
no, no, no. I
the
mean, I mean,
original.
I mean, like the original Switch. Like when you connect Joy Cons, is the
Oh,
only way of connecting them like putting it on the actual Switch itself.
yes.
yeah,
In a
that.
way, yes.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I don't know if it'll be actually possible or not.
Um, it probably won't because there might be. I mean, there might be some features within the Switch 2 Joy Cons that might make Switch 1 Joy Cons just absolutely won't work with the new system.
Honestly, who's gonna be using the original Joy Cons anyways with how crap they are?
I fucking hate the Joy Cons so much.
Oh yeah, speaking of the other like third party stuff, I really hope that this is kind of another big feature that I wanted. Not as much as achievements, but it's still pretty high up there, is giving us upgraded like updates for some of the games that are out there. Like Security Breach runs mostly fine, but like it, has like that freezing lag when you load into a whole new section. You have Sonic Frontiers, like I mentioned, doesn't look great and it doesn't really play well. They can honestly make it look like the PC version. Maybe if they really wanted to, maybe make it 30 FPS. But for me, it sounds like it's going to be as powerful as like the Xbox Series S or almost there. So maybe it might be able to handle 60, but if at least make it look good and have 30 stable FPS, that would be totally fine with me. But yeah, give us the option, give us players the ability to upgrade a game for free. I don't want to see any paid crap, Nintendo. I know that they're going to do that. I know they're going to
You
do it.
totally know they're gonna do that. You know they're gonna do that. I at least know one game that's gonna do that shit.
Breath of the Wild, totally. 60 FPS
Yeah,
4K. Yep, they're going to pay, they're going to make you pay for
they
that.
they're gonna charge you for that.
If it's like $30, I don't know what I'll say at that point, because that's a whole ass new game.
No, I enjoyed my time with Breath of the Wild, but I wouldn't pay another $30 to play that in 4K.
Especially considering like what, like the Series X and PS5 have the options of like upgrading some of the games to its newest version, since they're more optimized now. Like that's what I
Yeah,
want. I don't want to pay to get a better experience of a game. Like it should just be something that's already there. You already paid the money for the game. We don't need to pay extra to make it better. We already
make
play.
it run better, look
Yeah,
better, all that.
yeah. Honestly, that would be I know Nintendo at least would do that with their own games. Maybe third parties could be a little bit more nicer, but you never really know, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think we've spent a lot of time on the most wanted features segment, so I think we should go right to the worries that we have with this console. And there's only one big worry that I have.
You, magnets.
Magnets. Is that actually
Oh, those
yours too?
magnets.
Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I have another one, but it's not as big as the magnets.
okay, well, let's hear that
The
first since the magnets are going to be a big talk.
Okay, I don't like the look of the kickstand. I think the kickstand, that thing is gonna break
Why didn't
very
they?
easily.
Okay, yeah, I have to agree with that. Why didn't they just do the OLED style again?
It's weird. It's like because the OLED stand works perfectly. I've had no issues with the OLED stand whatsoever, and now here we are with a very typical looking third party tablet stand accessory. And I don't know that clip of the Switch lying on the floor with the kickstand like that. That makes me that makes me like, ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah, that honestly, that is something that they're probably gonna change if they make a OLED, or should I say, when they'll make an OLED version of the Switch 2. They'll probably just make it like the
Yeah,
original OLED.
yeah, we'll see that in like 2 years from now or something.
Yeah, and probably a light version of the Switch 2. So,
Yeah,
which I assume will probably just be the same thing as what they did with the original Switch. I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, it's probably not going to be that difficult to make a Switch 2 Lite. But
But yeah,
yeah,
let's go to
let's
magnets.
talk about the magnets. Yeah, these things are definitely gonna they're gonna get worse. Like after like even a year, maybe.
My biggest worry is like if you snap that magnet piece even just a little bit, it's done for. The Switch is just done
Yeah,
for. You
that's
can't
it.
use
Your
it.
system is dead.
Well, I say you can't use it, but you can't use it in handheld. I mean, and you also can't use your Joy
Yeah,
Cons. So that already takes off a lot of your money.
exactly. And it's funny because originally this was what they were going to do for the original Switch, but they backtracked on it. So why did they think now was the good time to say, okay, let's actually use magnets this time? Nothing can go wrong.
It doesn't make sense to me because like magnets wear off over time. There's no way that this isn't going to end in some sort of disaster in a few years.
Yeah, I've had magnet products before that have just kind of died like after 2 years. Like my PS5 R2 button is all fucked up now, and I've had that for like only 3 to 4 years. So it's not sturdy.
Yeah, I honestly don't really know what to say with it right now because it's very concerning, and I really hope that it ends up being good, even though I don't think it's going to. I have really bad thoughts on it.
Yeah. I mean, I rarely use my Switch in handheld mode to begin with, but it's still something that I think worries a lot of people, especially those who are big portable people out there.
Yeah, I'll sometimes play the Switch in handheld mode, but not nearly as much as I would with like a Steam Deck because that feels more compact and whatnot. But like if I'm playing like in
Yeah.
handheld, like also thinking about that, like playing in handheld, you play it like a lot and whatnot. The Switch is just gonna fall off at some point. The Joy Cons.
Yeah, they're just gonna fall off, and maybe even the Joy-Con will break.
I don't know. It's like the original Switch had this problem too. When you take the Joy Cons off over and over again, it starts getting very loose. So like this is gonna happen with these Joy Cons as well. Like I wouldn't be surprised, and that's what worries me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like you'll be seeing those compilation videos of Switch 2 Joy-Con magnets failing. I'm gonna say that right now. There's gonna be a video compilation.
I just hope that Nintendo knows what they're doing with this because you don't want this console to fail.
No, they do. We do not want another Wii U situation with this.
It almost feels like a Wii U situation, but if it was actually good.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you actually make the console. You actually advertise the console as a new console.
Yeah, that was one of the downsides of the Wii U, but yeah, I think we haven't started talking about something that we've been kind of pushing off a little bit, because something was
Hmm.
also revealed the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but are you sure it's not Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 8.5?
I don't know, but some people out there on the internet for some reason think it is, and it's just like, are you this dumb?
Oh, just look at the models and you'll be like, okay, this is clearly a new game.
So yes, the new Mario Kart game has already surprisingly been announced, and
Let's
it's
go.
looking like it might be a launch title. So
It could be.
I I mean there isn't really much to talk about with it right now. There wasn't like anything revealed with it. We just saw a snippet of a gameplay and we know one of the new tracks is probably going to be called Mario Brothers Circuit. It's not fully confirmed, but it was said that at the starter
Mm-hmm.
banner, so it's probably going to be. And,
It's
it,
probably going to be the name of the track, yeah.
it's more than likely going to be the Mario Circuit of the game. I don't think they would have two Mario Circuit named tracks, but then again, you never know.
You never know. What was it? Mario Kart 8 started off with a track called Mario Kart Stadium. So,
Yeah, and
you
everyone
really never
thought that
know.
was the Mario Circuit of that game, and then oh wait, there's just a bland 8 like anti-gravity track, and it's like okay.
Yeah. I mean, the track from what we've we haven't really seen a lot of the track, but I like it so far. I think okay, yeah, it obviously looks like insert obvious radiator springs comment here, but I like how it looks. I really like the diner, which actually, if you look at the diner very closely, it's in the shape of Yoshi's head.
Oh wait, it is. I actually didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I only just found that out recently, and I'm like, son of a bitch, it is.
One thing I really liked about it, like you said, Radiator Springs vibes. I am a huge Cars fan, so hearing that and seeing that was just like nostalgia for me. But also like this is kind of a different type of style of a track we haven't seen with a Mario Kart track yet, which I find most interesting, especially if this is the Mario Circuit track of the game. We're in a desert instead of like the regular grasslands like we've seen in every other track, so it makes it stick out a little bit more.
Yeah, it's kind of like a modern take on a classic Mario circuit, if you get what I mean. Because like the original Mario circuits, they kind of look like they took place in like a weird deserty kind of area.
Yeah, and in a way, yes. But this one specifically goes all in, and also it's kind of on a highway a little bit because it's interesting. I'm very
I
interested to
mean,
see more of what it will look like.
life is a highway.
Li-
Hasn't Cars
li-
taught you that?
yeah, life is a highway.
I'm gonna ride it all night long, baby.
the Another thing that people have been talking about with this like little snippet was what is that thing that is near that cafe?
Yes, I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I've seen some people think it's the Wonder Flower. I've seen some people think it could be like a special kind of item box. And then there are some people thinking it could just be a standard hazard.
I
But
think
I've also
I,
seen people say it could be the new big gimmick.
I think that it is a gimmick, and I do think it's some sort of item, but I think it might just be something for the 24 player mode only. I don't know why I just think
Yeah.
that will happen because I do kind of hope we do have other options of how many CPU we can have in a race. Like go back to the original classic 12 or maybe even 8 if they really want to. Like give
Yeah,
like multiple different options, but yeah, I think the 24 player mode is going to have specific gimmicks that aren't going to be used in any other mode, which would make sense
just
honestly.
just saying that though, 24 player races in Mario Kart.
That's going to be
Do you
so
not realize how
insane. Like
do you not realize how insane that sounds?
for someone like I said on Twitter the other day, for someone who doesn't care for Baby Park, honestly, I would love to see it come back again just
Oh
because
my
of that. Like
god.
I can't even imagine. I can't fathom what that would be like.
Let's just say Bowser shells everywhere, assuming that item comes back.
That would I can't even imagine it. Like the game must crash.
Yeah, how's that going to stay at a stable 60 FPS?
Actually, I think they should keep Baby Park for like a DLC track because we did just see it in multiple games lately. So keep it as one of the
Yeah.
DLC or free updates, whatever they end up doing. There's definitely gonna be more tracks, obviously, but they should definitely keep it
Hmm.
for later on in the future.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say, like, maybe they would be okay if this game didn't actually have any retros because of how crazy both Tour and the Booster Course Pass relied a lot on retros, and I think a lot of people are kind of getting a bit tired of the retro tracks. That's the opinion I've seen of a few people. It's not me. I personally like the retro tracks. I just think a lot of people probably want to see more new creative tracks in the Mario Kart series now that we've had Tour and the Booster Course Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree in a way, but I can't really reveal very much because I want to keep my predictions low for now until I
Mm-hmm.
actually release
That
them. But
that
it
that hashtag Mario Kart X prediction series you can find on Ryder's channel. Link found down below.
link down below. Oh wait, this is a podcast. I forgot.
Okay. Fuck.
Yeah. Honestly, like I can agree to an extent. We've had way too much retro representation lately, but I will say I
At the
think we're
same
just
time,
we're gonna kind of probably go back to like Mario Kart's old standards where half of it is nitro and half of it is retro. I won't say specifically how
yeah.
much might be and like how much tracks in total would be, but yeah, I think it's gonna go half nitro and half retro again because I still do want to see some returning tracks come back, like Toad's Factory and
Yeah,
whatnot. So
it's not a Mario Kart game without retro tracks.
exactly. One last thing I do want to mention about with this Mario Kart segment is the models because I feel like it's been
Yes.
controversial with some of them, and
I like some of them. Some of them are good,
I like
but there
how
are the
it's
few
like
that I don't
Mario
like.
Wonder models because Mario Wonder kind of gives off like the old vibes of like the 64 era. So using them like in Mario Kart looks exactly like the Mario Kart 64 like renders. Is that just me? Like that it looks exactly like them and I love that.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of comparing it to a lot of like classic Mario artwork used in the 90s. I can't remember the people that made those pieces, um, but they look very familiar to that.
Yeah, it's honestly like it's really cool. I love it. There's just one character that I'm a little skeptical on, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people know.
Hmm. I like to think that maybe a certain movie may have prompted the idea for some of these new models, but
Look how they
Donkey
massacred my
Kong.
boy.
Donkey Kong, what the fuck happened to you?
I mean, I still hold out hope that it's just like a movie skin and that they're confirming skins are coming to Mario Kart like 10 or whatever. But
Yeah.
honestly, this might be his new design because they made Bowser chubby and that's kind of like how he was in like the old era. So,
Yeah, it references a lot of like Mario 64 era Bowser.
which is really cool. Like in a way, I like Donkey Kong going back to his roots as well, but I don't know. I've seen the modern one for so long now. It's just weird seeing him back at his old design because then that leads to the question: what are the other Kongs gonna end up looking like?
Yeah, because I guarantee you, Donkey Kong won't be the only playable Kong there.
Yeah, we'll at least have Diddy Kong there too, if anyone.
Definitely.
So
I mean, so far, I think we've got 24, at least 24 characters are confirmed.
yes, which still up in the air on some of them who are actually confirmed, but
Why is Baby Rosalina back? Who thought that was a good idea to bring her back?
because she's now a character that exists in the Mario Kart world, so you have to bring her
But
back,
she's not
unfortunately.
canon. Baby Rosalina isn't canon.
Neither is Mario Kart. Yes,
I mean, it's
because
nice to have Pauline there, though.
Mario and Bowser just casually race each other like in the canon.
It's fine. You know, they get together for go-karts, they play tennis, they play soccer, they can just do whatever they want.
Honestly, and then they'll randomly just try murdering each other like for real, like not joking around murdering, like they literally just want to kill each other.
Mm-hmm. Family fun Nintendo here. But it's nice to have Pauline there though from the start.
Yes,
Pauline, King
I
Boo,
do think that
those
was a good choice.
having you will not understand, but having King Boo there immediately confirmed solves my biggest problem with Mario Kart 8's initial roster.
No one said anything about this, and I literally just thought about this, but none of the Koopalings were shown off.
Yeah, I mean, I still think they're gonna show up.
Oh, they're definitely gonna be in the game. No
Yeah,
doubt.
but web before with Mario Kart 8, I was very against the idea of the Koopalings because that's a lot of characters slots taken up by them. This time, however, I actually do welcome the Koopalings.
Yeah, I can agree to an extent, which is why I think Diddy Kong will be back, because I'm pretty sure we already have confirmation on Bowser Jr. being back as well, so.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Dixie Kong will be playable, which means you can hear those high-pitched screams from Mario Kart Tour in now crisp audio.
Yay. And I do think Nabbit is confirmed as well, just because they're basing off all the models off of Wonder, so Nabbit was playable there technically. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah,
he's one of the, like, main roster characters. I'd honestly be down
and
for that too.
someone has found a an advertisement with the with Nabbit's logo.
Yeah, that is actually very interesting. So I honestly would not be surprised if he's one of the playable characters from the start, or at least an unlockable.
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't make the booster course pass, so I would say he's kind of guaranteed to be there, but obviously we won't know the full roster until much later.
Yeah, which probably might reveal a lot more, obviously, in the direct in a few months. But that's a few months from now.
Yeah,
So all we can do right now is
yeah,
speculate and predict.
yeah. One last thing I will say though about um this new Mario Kart is I like the way the carts look. I think the carts in this game they look really cool.
They look really good, but in a weird way, they kind of like remind me of the arcade Mario Karts for some reason. I don't know why. It just gives off those vibes.
They also seem to be very toy-like this time as well. Like the realism has kind of cut been cut down a little bit from
it's it's
8 Deluxe
it's
and
it's
Wii.
it's interesting because like it feels like a mixture between Tor's art style and 8 Deluxe's art style if they had a baby.
Which makes sense with everything that's happened the last like 5 years or so.
And honestly, I'm down for that. I really like both those art styles, so mixing them together is actually perfect.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, I don't know if there's really much else to talk about aside one last thing. For the Switch 2, we didn't talk about this yet, but what about the whole mouse mechanic? What are we thinking that's going to end up being?
Ooh. The mouse mechanic. Well, I can think of a very particular game that would make great use of that.
Mario Maker 3. I know you're probably not thinking of that, but I was thinking of that.
It was what I was thinking of.
That would be so great if we had Mario Maker 3 and that was actually like compatible with that. Like it would be so much easier, much more fun to create levels, honestly.
Yeah, because like I've tried creating levels in Mario Maker 2 with the Switch, and it's very awkward. It's
Yeah,
not as stable. It's not as smooth as the Wii U.
yeah, the Wii U did it perfectly. I didn't really play much of Mario Maker 3DS, but we don't talk about that version.
We don't talk about that version.
I'm wondering if the mouse mechanic also means stuff like Mario Paint will be like on NSO or something, which seems likely. But I also do wonder if it's like gonna be used for like an actual mouse, like used in game or something. I have no idea. There's many opportunities that they could have with that mechanic.
Yeah, I really hope they make great use out of it and not just put it in like 2 or 3 games and call it a day.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make a great use out of it because it's I don't know. I could see it being used like if they're gonna add like web pages, like add like Google or something back, or if they're gonna have like Roblox for whatever reason like playable on
Oh
the
my
Switch
god.
too, they could use that. I have no idea.
Oh boy. Roblox, Fortnite funny moments.
Yes. But yeah, I think that's basically everything we all have to talk about today because we've been talking about for this for like almost an hour. So I think we've
Yeah.
got most of our thoughts out, and I just really want to get that other part put in last very quickly because that was another important thing was the mouse mechanic. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
I hope you guys did all enjoy this first episode. This was kind of like a new experience for us to do a podcast, and this is kind of like how our
Yeah.
conversations go like regularly in VC. So
Mhm.
it's basically just us talking. So we thought it would be a really good idea to start this podcast, and I'm hoping to have one episode out maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. I think that's a pretty good um, space out between episodes. So I hope you guys
Yeah,
did
and
all enjoy the Switch 2 episode for today.
we're always like looking at what particularly we want to talk about. Because there's lots of topics out there that we could talk about. Or maybe there's a topic you want us to discuss. I don't know. Maybe post it in the comment section below. We'll take a look at it and we'll consider it for a future episode.
Post it in the comments section below. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Comments are turned off for this video.
Oh my god. You can tell I'm new at this.
Yes, and this is technically new for me. I've been on other people's podcast shows, and I have tried doing my own podcast at some point, but like it still feels like it's a new thing to me. And also, it's not like I'm editing it like a regular video, so it's still all
No.
kind of new stuff. So we hope,
Yeah, we'll ease into it more as it goes on.
yeah, of course, we'll get used to it like pretty quickly, honestly. But yeah, we did pretty good for the first episode, I would say.
Yeah, just pat ourselves on the back a little bit.
If you guys do like this episode, please do let us know in my Discord server. There should be a link on my channel or really in any video that I've uploaded lately that'll work. Sometimes Discord
Hmm.
links don't work very well. Just let me know down in my Discord server um, what episodes would you like to see in the future? Like, what topics would you like for us to delve into? Like I said, we're mainly focusing on Mario and Sonic stuff, so once we kind of get bored of that, we might move on to other stuff. But there's a lot of stuff we could do with Mario and Sonic. So
Yeah, absolutely. And if you like my voice or if you like my opinions on things, I also have a YouTube channel that I just recently started as well. It's the game is KChaz575. I normally do stuff on mods and fan games, But I'm also going to do some stuff about Mario Kart X as well. So if you want to see more of that or my takes on things about this next new Mario Kart, I already have a discussion video up on my channel about the Switch 2 and Mario Kart X. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
So yeah, that's all we've got for today's episode. So I hope you guys did enjoy. So make sure to subscribe to my channel. Not here, obviously, because I don't think it exists here. But anyways, we'll catch you all in the next episode. So peace out, stay safe, and goodbye.
Bye bye.